Don't make this mistake when you're backpacking Vietnam. So I was backpacking around Cambodia and Vietnam a couple of years ago. We started in Cambodia and then the plan was to make our way across the land border crossing by bus to Vietnam. We had a tour booked in Vietnam that was starting in Ho Chi Minh City and then travelling up and ending in Hanoi. And when I was applying for my Vietnamese visa, it asks for your point of entry and your point of exit. And everything was in Vietnamese. My Google Translate on the page wasn't working, so I put in my point of exit as Hanoi, and from my point of entry I saw that it said Ho Chi Minh City, and I just clicked it and I thought it was fine. 5 or 6 days later the visa comes back and it's approved, and when the visa comes back it's in English and it says that I have selected my point of entry as Ho Chi Minh City Airport, and I just thought it meant Ho Chi Minh City, like the whole city. We thought, let's just wing it, take the land border crossing to Ho Chi Minh City and see what they say. And when we were flying into Cambodia to start our journey, the man at the airport told us that we needed a proof of exit from Cambodia to be allowed into Cambodia. We booked our 25 bus from Phnom Penh to Ho Chi Minh City, and then we arrive in Cambodia, and then when our time comes to leave Cambodia, we get a tuk-tuk to the bus station where we've booked this bus to go from, and the woman is checking passports and visas, and she says you're not allowed on this bus because your visa says the airport. And we're like, oh no, what do we do? It was Tet at this point. The visa office was closed for 10 days. They told us that we could get a visa on arrival into Vietnam, but it would only be valid for 15 days and you weren't allowed to extend or change that. You would have to leave the country again and then come back on another visa. So we basically ended up having to book a flight for the same day, even though we'd already booked the bus, so that the flight matched our visas and everything went according to plan. So just make sure that you know what you're doing when you're filling out visas and that you know exactly what you're doing, because even though it wasn't the end of the world, it was an annoying mistake to make. Follow for more backpacking content and tips.